Yay.
4 brave developers, 5 intense hours, and 1 mission to build an AI agent you can truly bank on.
I think we're going to go with the thing that we all lit up for when I saw it on the screen.
The clock is ticking.
The pressure is on and your time starts now.
So here's the challenge. Banks want to be trusted partners, but their digital tools often feel outdated. And that's why we built Symbol Bank, a realistic test case with a robust and secure backend trapped behind a basic chatbot. Our contestants won't just replace this chatbot, they'll build a new AI agent that works alongside the old one using the agent-to-agent protocol. The result? An intelligent system that can move Symbol Bank from a boring transactional chatbot to a trusted financial planner. Who will code financial trust best and win Google Cloud's AI Agent Bake-Off? Let's find out.
When it comes to agents, we want to be able to let the user update his or her financial goals. I'm Vlad. I build custom AI applications for companies. If we are focusing on daily spending, I think having the ability to visually understand the spendings you're doing today.
For me, that screams graphs. I'm Luis. I am a customer engineer here at Google Cloud. I'm back, and I'm back for redemption. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to win.
The trip budget ties back to the daily spendings. When we first started the challenge, there were 3 major things we could tackle: daily spends, big purchases, or trip planning. The trip planning, we could introduce something with the Google built-in tools. So initially, you would have the Google search agent who would just look up average hotel prices.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. My name is Marcus, and I go to the University of Waterloo, and I study computer science. I was thinking we're gonna have 3 separate routes for the front end, like the main route, which is just like get started, and then it goes to the onboarding route.
Right.
And then after you're done with onboarding, it goes to the main home route. All of our agents are located. You could talk with voice or through text.
I'm Sita. I'm a developer relations engineer at Google. Today we're going to be building an agent in 5 hours, which kind of seems very impossible at this point, but hey, we'll see. Fingers crossed.
We want to get our agent up and running. So we want to have a retriever and a chart generator. Do we want to do sub-agent?
We could try that so that it's kind of clean.
My name is Brandon Hancock. Got my way into working in startups, into some AI startups, and then actually in the past few months, taken the leap to go all in on myself. So I've been creating content on all things AI agents. Coolest time to be alive. So pumped to be a part of it. All right, we're going to start hopping into code now. Progress feels good.
I'm Laxmi. I'm a field solutions architect with Google Cloud. We're trying to reinvent the whole banking system. It's a complicated challenge. It's not going to be easy for sure.
So I got ADK working. Now I just need to connect the ENB.
Hi, my name is Adrian. I am an IT student at the University of Central Florida.
Just going to continue to start setting up A2A instances and then get different agents connected.
Different folders for each agent?
Yeah, the main agent's going to be the symbol agent, and then from there you're going to have different sub-agents.
Nice. My name is Adedeji. I'm a developer advocate at Google Cloud. I focus on all things AI. What we're planning to do is a little bit of a BQML integration, some Firebase integration for the front-end authentication. All right, so you have the fundamental integration.
Yes.
I'll handle the Reddit. We can start from there.
Our devs are hard at work and truly pushing the boundaries of agent-to-agent communication. Just like before, they got access to Google's full AI arsenal, including Gemini, Imagen, and VO. And they're using the Agent Development Kit to stitch everything together. Curious to see what they've got so far.
What are you guys trying to build?
There's like 5 sections of it. Spending is like daily habits. Goals, like they're trying to save up for a car. This is like to look at their debt, savings, schedule meeting with advisors. So we're gonna do a sequential agent where agent 1 retrieves all the questions once we have all the relevant information. Then we're gonna pass it to a second agent who's gonna generate charts. Right side is just gonna be a simple agent.
This does not look that simple.
It will be, it will be,
Okay,
it will be.
okay.
Fingers crossed.
Marcus, Sita, what are you guys trying to build here? I see you have this diagram up.
Over here, we have a pretty robust multi-agent hierarchy. This is the main root agent, which delegates requests communicating through A2A protocol to the external symbol bank agent. Right now, we have 3 agents. We might make a 4th one, the trip planner one later. This one is called the investments agent, which is mainly responsible for helping to coordinate and plan out a user's investment plans, whether they want to open a 401k. We really wanted to reimagine the experience of online banking, treating the user as the composer of an orchestra of AI agents. Gemini 2.5 Flash is the main kind of model behind most of our...
Why did you guys decide Flash versus like the other models?
We want to have a human-like live conversation with the user through voice.
Oh, so you guys are going to use voice?
Yeah, we're going to use voice.
Okay, I'll keep that quiet, don't worry. That's between
no
us.
one can hear that.
I just set up my first agent, and now I'm going to work on the A2A portion. The part that has me a little worried is definitely the prompting to make sure it works. We're going to have several different sub-agents. Something that we're doing a little bit different for the big purchases agent is that we're going to embed one of Google's BQML agents.
We thought for something like banking, it would be really important to kind of give trust to the clients that, they're getting really secure, consistent responses. For that, we thought BQML was a great approach.
What sort of experiences are different using that versus not just like calling the API directly?
It's just going to make it a little bit more accurate when it comes to forecasting. And then we're also going to have a Reddit API just to loop in like different
comments, threads that are related to discounting,
Very nice.
budgeting. We have a kind of a cherry on top for the
travel agent,
which is the travel agent.
Let me know, Vlad, what are you guys thinking?
First one is how can we make it visual? So this is gonna be in the form of graphs, possibly.
Okay.
And then the second thing is how can we make it personable, that is, something that is not superficial, connecting to the web also. This is like another functionality. Because for now, like most chatbots, you're talking to a bank agent, but it doesn't really connect to anything beyond that environment.
It's running.
Yes, something is happening.
Something's happening. We're gonna have this page looking beautiful. We're gonna have our cards here, so it's gonna show activities. Below that, we're gonna have our nice graphic. And then below that, we're gonna have insights.
You guys deconstructed what the chatbot could do.
ADK made it super straightforward with the sequences. This is literally two agents working together back to back. Like, hey, you go fetch data, and then you make sure that you present data in a really nice way so that it's easy to put in an app. ADK checks all the boxes. It is by far one of my favorite frameworks for the ease of setting up really powerful workflows.
You may have noticed I'm seated next to Io. This guy is in the zone, so I need to break him out of it.
Once this is done building and it responds, then I'll try the next question. That doesn't look right. That doesn't look right.
Are you sure? I think it is. I think you're just worried that it's two, right?
No. In fact, you need to revert back to the...
Just the main, delete this whole thing.
Beginning.
Luis was hilarious. It was an amazing experience just to be alongside him, and also just a funny experience to kind of ease up the tension a little bit.
It's vibes.
This is vibes all the way.
Vibes. All vibes.
Yeah, well, thanks for the inspiration. Really appreciate it. Yeah, real.
You guys have 2 hours left. You're more than halfway done with the challenge.
Right now I'm just working on the front end. It's almost done. 2.5 road to the rescue.
Oh, lovely. This looks nice.
It's
very
nice, yeah.
minimalistic. Oh, I like how the toggles work.
Generated by Gemini, so this is like able to read your debts, able to read your transaction history. Especially with Gemini having such a large ecosystem, being able to connect up to Google Cloud services, it does provide a very powerful and robust system for creating apps.
Look, the graphs are...
Nice. Imagine getting something like that, right? Adrian is amazing. You can just say, look into this, and before you know it, he's kind of already built the entire agent.
How's the API going?
I solved the Reddit issue. I just pushed to main.
You're the best, thank you.
No problem. Reddit API is connected. Here are some travel-related threads from Reddit.
That's awesome.
Oh, you want some verbal zingers for your hackathon rivals, do you? How about this one? I hope you all brought sleeping bags because you'll be here all night trying to catch up to my code.
I've never been roasted by an AI.
Now that I wasted precious minutes on that.
Okay, I'm gonna add a front end very quickly.
I have faith. You got this. Oh, that's looking really good.
Not bad, no?
You could say, make a UI that slays. That always works. I appreciate what you're doing there. You're the man. You're the man. You're the man.
This is good. It's at least responding really well.
Freaking amazing.
It's so scuffed, but it's okay.
I like what you guys are doing with the UI. Very curious what you guys are doing with the UI.
I think his unconventional ideas of how he wanted the UI to look like really inspired me. When I saw the end product of how he did it, I was like, yeah, this is something solid.
Yay. I cannot get the agent to do what I need to do.
Luis, do you feel you guys have enough time?
No, we will have something.
Okay.
I just can't guarantee it'll have anything to do with banking.
I'm so stressed right now.
That's okay.
Laxmi, how do you feel?
Don't ask me that. I'm not going to answer that.
Oh my god, 16 10 minutes, okay. Run this and this should hopefully give us the token that we need.
Script.py, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Nothing matters.
10 minutes, you guys. 10 minutes, that's all you have?
Okay, so you're working on the UI?
Yeah, I'm getting it set up first just to have like a little prototype, and then from there I'm gonna start refining it a lot more.
The last 10 minutes was so nerve-wracking. We didn't even have our UI up.
8 minutes. Let's see if we can get it.
Please! I've been trying to remain calm.
And the BQML aspect is so strong, I feel like if we really lean into it, we have a chance of winning.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna win.
5, 4, 3,
No.
2,
No.
1. Time's up, keyboard's down. Congrats, you guys. Welcome, judges. Thanks so much for your time. Can you please give yourself a quick intro?
I'm Alan. I was a software engineer. Now I'm a product manager. My portfolio includes ADK and A2A.
And I'm Paige. I'm the developer experience engineering lead at Google DeepMind.
Yeah, great. And I'm Richard. I am our chief evangelist at Google Cloud. I lead developer relations and technical writing, all of our docs. So excited to see what you've done.
Hey guys, super excited to showcase Fee, which is your new financial intelligent planner that showcases what banking can look like in the age of AI. Before we dive into all the cool things we built, just want to showcase. So this is like what current banking looks like. Data is scattered everywhere. You can't really tell what's going on. Everything is isolated. We wanted to have the primary goal of putting agents in every aspect of the application during your banking experience. What's happening behind the scenes, every time you open up the application, it's like the agent is your best friend and he's going to go through and analyze everything that you need to know and just give you the highlights. And then the agent is also just digging through all the data that it notices in your spending, so you can easily ask questions such as like, what is my income and expenses? It's like almost like your financial analyst knows exactly what's going on. You can easily ask follow-up questions. So that's one of the cool parts. And it's kind of the same pattern throughout the rest of the application. So you can see if we hop over to portfolio, once again, it's using ADK, a sequential workflow to like pull out as much data, format the data, and a follow-up agent to spit it back in a really nice format for our UI. In this case, when we're looking at a portfolio, we're trying to help our clients grow their wealth. We're looking at everything from the client's net worth, putting it in a nice story aligned with the user's goal. So, hey, like this is what you need to focus on fixing and improving. So we can ask it questions and it'll tell you exactly where things are at so far. If you have a credit card, half the time you never know what you actually have access to like save money. So what this will do is actually look through all the person's transactions plus the perks to show them what they can actually like get benefits on. So these are based on the available perks that the user have. So this is the general app as a whole. We also set up the application to be pretty secure. We wanted to allow users to say, hey, do you want to allow agents to access your data before you do?
Awesome. For the kind of output for the model, do you have any sort of references or citations?
So one of the cool parts about what we're working on is all of the user's information is already stored in the symbol bank. And you can even ask, you can say, what does my user profile say about me? So this is a nice way just for the user to say like, what does my bank know about me? And this is where you can kind of see our agent is talking to the symbol bank agent via A2A to gather all this information.
Thank you for the clarification. And I also love the UI. This feels like it was really kind of intuitively designed.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Paige.
You mentioned sequential patterns. Did you have use for loop patterns or even parallel patterns to go do some simultaneous analysis and then join it together? Or did you lean on sequential for all of these?
What we ended up doing was mostly just going down the sequential side of things. But yeah, totally, with more time, would love to go through the loop part of it, specifically the like generator critic loop pattern. Would love to get to that, but no, with what we got to today, it was mostly the exact same snapshot agent.
So you have, for example, the perks agent, which has to get the user benefits data and then gets the user profile and gets the bank partners, right? So, and then these three information is kind of combined to get you one user profile, and then again, the snippets that you kind of see on that.
So this prompt is controlling the request for the type of data that you're getting from the remote agent, remote system.
Right, yes.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
All
Awesome. We worked on a lot of really fun stuff in this project. We integrated the possibility of authentication using Google with Firebase authentication as well as Fire storage, because who remembers their bank passwords? I know I don't. We do have 3 main agents, with these agents having a total of 12 agents between them. Let's get started with the daily spending advisor. Here, we're going to use this agent just to really track how much loans we have in credit card debt and also student loans. So right over here, we have our big purchase advisor, which is machine learning powered, which is good because we use models that are trained on your specific transaction history, and every recommendation even includes data visualization. What this does is that it avoids the hallucination from certain AI models, and it gives you a lot more accurate of a response with, for example, your net worth in future spending. And right over here, I want to buy a $300,000 home as well. We specifically see our net worth. This net worth is going to be at around 89,000, and it's projecting my growth to be around 160,000 in year 3 of owning this home. So quite a bit. We can show as well the other graph that it did generate. The good thing is that everything here gives you information regarding how it's getting the information. It's saying, hey, query transaction history table, which is your specific machine learning model, as well as it calls the different agents. We have our travel agent. Let's get started with the first part of planning our trip. And I'm from Orlando, so we're going to be flying out from MCO. So it even gives you specific prompts from before. Where are you hoping to go? Travel dates, estimated budget. So when we create this trip, we can even visualize ourselves here. So we're actually going to put one of the judges here, which is Alan, and this is going to generate an image with pretty much Alan, and it's going to show you like, hey, this is what it would be like to be at Paris. So as you can see right over here, we have Alan drinking coffee at a Paris cafe.
Thank you for showing us what you've built over the course of this hackathon. I'm curious, what were some of the unique challenges that you experienced when working with multiple tool calls simultaneously, or was everything just kind of like a sequential tool call?
Using the symbol agent as the root agent while also involving all of the rest was quite challenging. And once we started involving the BQML agent, that's where really it got quite interesting, because it's more complicated because you're involving an ML model.
What I was going to ask about is the Firebase authentication to this web interface to interact with these agents, and then a hand down of some user identifier to the agent and pass through into tools and potentially other agents. Can you paint the picture of how you manage that identity and authorization through that chain of tool?
Yes, so essentially after you sign in with Firebase, in the backend there's an OAuth token that's generated. We store that as metadata as part of the state using the user scope. So as it cascades through various, branches of the agents, sub-agents, they all have access to the same state. They can pull from the user scope, so they have to then query BigQuery for the user transaction history, they can. But overall, essentially using state and user scopes, which is a nice feature of the ADK.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, tell me a little more about the BQML piece. I mean, did you have to make sure you were loading, that data had to be in those data sets, of course, to maybe to run that against there? Did you have to think of preloading or picking models?
Essentially, we've connected our transaction history with a BQ table, so that allows us to do forecasting against BigQuery. As we all know, models struggle with consistent mathematical operations, so why don't we use BigQuery as a tool for that? It's kind of like the definition of an agent, outsourcing to something that's perhaps, better at a particular operation than the agent itself.
It's based on a current setup, so it's not a model that's already generated. You can make it live and then execute it in the moment. And what that's going to do is that it's going to give the user control, and also it's going to ensure that it's something new. It's a model that's trained specifically on your data. We focused on rebuilding a lot of trust, especially when it came with banking, and that's what this BQML agent is for, just to ensure accurate forecast and ensure that there is no form of hallucination.
I think the BQML agent demo from Adrian and IO, they use traditional ML models for forecasting, which also means it hallucinates less than traditional ML models, and it has high accuracy, so pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, so I'll get started. Here we have 3 main agents that we have created under our no-name agent, which is our router agent. We connect through A2A protocol to our symbol bank agent, which is the external agent we get requests from. And so our three main agents are the investments agent, the big spendings agent, and also the daily spendings agent. Just for the sake of time, let's just get straight to the demo. Our symbol bank kind of theme is kind of themed around the idea of music and conducting an orchestra where the user themselves is the composer of their orchestra. And so our model for symbol bank is the rhythm of your wallet because it's like a symbol. So it's like a pun on drums. So we could first start off with inputting our information, such as our user ID, which is just 001 for now. We also here have a space where you can set permissions because sometimes you might not want our agent to be able to access your debt history or your spending habits and transaction history. So for now, we'll enable all of them, but you can obviously disable as you please. But in order to get the fullest extent of our product, we'll just enable all the permissions, press continue, and now you're registered as 001. And so we have quite a different UI from most teams. You can see there's a huge stage backdrop with a theme of music again. And so every single agent that we've created is actually a section of the band, whether it's the violin section, the trumpet section, or the flute or the trombone section. Now, right now, you are default talking to the router agent over here. We will first try to book an appointment with an advisor. So we will first try to ask our agent and we'll try the voice functionality. Can you please provide a list of all the advisors I can book a meeting with? So here we see a list of all the different advisors that we can meet with. Alice, Bob, Charlie, Diana. Let's just say I'd like to meet with Alice. And now we'll first take a look at our calendar to make sure we have a clear date. So we have August 25th, and now we can check our Google Calendar because it says it has scheduled a meeting with Alice. And we can see it's actually scheduled that meeting for us, which is great. So it automates the whole process for you. Now we will try out one last functionality, which is we have a nice little structured data table here, which we can try out. And you can see here that there's all the different transactions that the user has had, such as savings transfer, paycheck, and more. Yeah, that's a lot of the functionality that we have for the Symbol Bank Orchestra. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Obviously missed a chance to play the sad trombone sound when my balance drops below zero. So, I mean, we're also super creative. Do you see that these agents kind of dynamically, like based on my question, the right one's engaged, or did I need to pick which agent or conversation I wanted to have?
Yeah, so we have a main router agent, which dynamically, it's an LLM agent, which we utilize that functionality from Google ADK. It dynamically kind of chooses which agent is best to respond to that user's request.
Nice, and is there any sharing of that context between them? So if I have a big spending conversation and I move to one of these others, are they aware of each other? Or are they kind of independent experiences?
As long as it's the same conversation, they would be aware of each other and what they've already talked about before. And if maybe the daily spendings agent needs context from the big spendings agent, for example, then it would be able to access that.
Question that I would have about the investment agent, are you incorporating any other kind of tool calls or function calls with the personal investments? So doing things like looking up stock prices or kind of doing any kind of deep research to make the investments?
Let's demo that actually, because we didn't get a chance to. So we're connected to the investments agent over here. And let's just ask, I want to invest. I think it's only right to say Google. So
good choice.
So we've actually attached the Google search tool to the investments agent. So if we wait a bit for it to respond. Yeah, so right here, it responded with current information about the stock. Oh, and this is also, it also said, I'm an AI assistant, not a licensed financial advisor. So that's just like a little disclaimer, and it'll tell you to book an appointment with one of the Symbol Bank agents for that.
Is there a run this in the background and come back with it? Have you considered that type of an engagement, or is it all sort of call and response?
We have something like that in the daily spendings agent, where it actually looks for subscriptions that are unused. So it basically goes through the user's transaction history for the last 30 days to 60 days, identifies transactions which have the same description and the same amount, and qualifies that as a subscription. And when it identifies a subscription, we had planned to integrate it with the Spotify API to fetch the subscription, and then a Stripe API to cancel the subscription, but didn't get the automation working.
Yeah.
But we have this basic setup where it goes proactively identifies the subscription.
Nice, that's awesome.
Hi judges, we basically try to connect via the A2A protocol to the bank transactions of different users to help the user in helping them like understand better their daily expenses, but also help them in their trip planning, for instance, with the goal obviously for a bank to become something that is not necessarily like very transactional, but a bit more
lifestyle
oriented. I'm going to walk you through the demo. As you know, things can occasionally be a bit brittle, so hopefully it's going to work as expected. Hello, what are my account balances?
Here are your current account balances.
Can you help me budget a trip to New York City from September 1st through September 4th? I'd like to stay at a 3-star hotel and have at least one fancy dinner and catch the Stranger Things show.
I can definitely help you with that. To start, I'll need to check your account balance and spending history to help us create a realistic budget. Do you like me to do that?
Certainly.
I have your financial information. Based on your recent spending habits and account balances, I recommend a budget of about $400 to $500 per day for your New York City trip. This would cover about 4 days, from September 1st to the 4th. How does that sound to you?
Sounds good.
Great. With a budget of around $2,000 for your 4-day trip to New York City, let's start planning the fun stuff. What are you most interested in for your trip? Are you looking for specific types of activities, like museums or shows? Or are you more focused on dining experiences or shopping?
To have one dinner at the Modern and also catch the Stranger Things show on Broadway.
Okay, I have some information for you. Dinner at the Modern's main dining room will likely be between $275 and $325 per person with tax and tip. For Stranger Things tickets, prices start around $52, but can go up to $895 for premium seats. Unfortunately, the Broadway Week 2-for-1 discount starts just after your travel dates, so it wouldn't apply to your trip. Given these costs, especially for the Modern, it looks like these 2 activities alone could take up a significant portion of your $2,000 budget. Would you like me to continue looking for other options? Or should we adjust the budget to accommodate these experiences?
Let's go ahead and adjust the budget. This sounds great and very exciting.
Any questions?
What was the trickiest implementation piece? And specifically, I was also thinking about, did you lose anything passing context between agents? Did you feel like anything dropped off? Or hey, everything just moves cleanly, you weren't having to have it relook up extra information?
So I think we had 2 major issues. The first one was actually accessing the financial transactions to then pass that information to the different sub-agents. To run some codes, it needed some financial transactions. And basically, we're losing all the context if it was coming from another agent from somewhere else. So we needed to wrap them as tools that were used interchangeably, from one same agent. The second challenge that we actually didn't even manage to show you is handling like multimodal artifacts. So we're trying to generate also some graphs, but we had a really hard time like returning structured HTML that we could render.
I'm curious for the kind of interface with the banking system. How are you implementing that?
So basically the point here is that we're going to have an agent that interacts directly with our financial transactions, and we're going to wrap all of the capabilities and the tools of the agent within the live API. But if I just zoom in very quickly, essentially what we have is the user who will interact with the root agent. And this root agent then has access to this handler agent who will then decide the different tools to call. And in our case, what we decided to build is a set of agents that we wrap as tools. The first one is a coding agent. We have a visualization agent who can come up with graphs also to help us visualize our financial transactions over time. And then this is where it gets very interesting. We are wrapping the remote agent as a tool. And this is the way we found to be the most efficient to basically feed the transactional data to the other agent or to the other tools to then come up with interesting insights. And then finally, we have this concierge agent who can create trip budgets, and given our net worth and financial situation, can come up with relevant plans. All of this is wrapped around the live API, which allows us to directly speak to the agent and get a voice back.
Initially, we were calling the A2A remote agent as a sub-agent. For the use case at hand, it actually needed to be wrapped as a tool in order to support this idea of having multiple sub-agents that can invoke the banking agent. Mm-hmm. So that's the kind of correct best practice, shall we say, in this particular scenario.
That we learned the hard way.
And a lot of our friends actually, enemies, learned the hard way.
This is great. Thank you for showing what you've built. That was so cool.
Yeah. had a lot to look at and figure out, okay, what are we building? What are they leveraging? And so it was good to see such different solutions from each.
I saw, these developers do a lot in these 5 hours, some of them pulling their hair throughout the day. So I'm really curious, do you guys know who you guys are voting for? Brandon and Laxmi, they were the first ones.
Yeah, look, I think Dowden's Point is probably one of the safer ones, but it's also one of the most complete ones.
I agree. I really appreciated how much the team leaned into storytelling and how much they tried to really think about the user experience of what would a person want to see whenever they arrived at this dashboard. How might agents support that experience?
Adrian and Io, I think, were the only ones that actually implemented Google Cloud into the mix and deploying their endpoint.
Yeah, look, it was nice to use Firebase Auth for some of that, and being able to use the BQML stuff I thought was interesting. I don't think they fully realized the vision there, but it was a creative way to think about a real analytics scenario and ask permission.
Marcus and Sita, what did you guys like?
I did love the creativity of the Symphony user interface. That was adorable.
It was adorable. It's not a good fit for the use case, but it is fun and creative.
Fair point. Okay, let's move with the last team, Vlad and Luis.
Yeah, it was the more stock interface, but I could tell that they were trying to do a lot behind the scenes.
Yeah, I really loved that they were incorporating the Gemini Live API.
Who's going to be the winner for today's Google Cloud AI Agent Bake-Off?
I think we're going to go with the thing that we all lit up for when I saw it on the screen.
There was a good breadth to this, as well as different types of experiences and very well called out AI insights.
That's the one that would have the highest likelihood of getting funded on a demo day at a startup accelerator pitch day.
Okay, judges, we have our winner.
You guys spent 5 hours learning A2A. You also leverage ADK, use Gemini, use VO. But sadly, we could only have one winner. And the winner is...
Brandon and Laxmi's demo was really polished.
They didn't overcomplicate things. In terms of the UI, they did it super nicely because they had different tabs.
Huge congratulations to Brandon and Laxmi. And this is Laxmi's second win.
Pickleball for you guys. Enjoy.
This is awesome.
We're playing outside. You've been challenged. That's the second leg of the game.
The second leg.
I'm going to hang it in my wall.
This is genuinely the best experience that I've had in my entire career.
This was a really fun kind of exercise, really diving into ADK, seeing what we can build in 5 hours.
Everything's becoming more agentic, so the next step is A2A. It's insane what's going to be possible very soon, to where my agent's talking to your agent and it's just doing all the collaboration on our behalf.
The new feature of ADK, which is the remote A2A agent, that literally saved the day for us. So basically, you could write one agent, and in that one agent, you could wrap the whole A2A call as a tool. When I used it, it was like, wow.
You know what? This time around, didn't quite make it, but we will do it together with my next teammate because I am committing right now to doing episode 3.